Good morning. Welcome to 18 Acres Journals. I am Linda for all of you who are new, and to all of you, and by the way, welcome. I love it when you visit. To all of you who've been here before, you know the drill. I have been working on, okay, first let me explain to you. I've been working offline for a lot of reasons. One, because I haven't been feeling that great. Two, because I've been working on my garden a lot and then coming home and really tired. And in the late evenings when it's too noisy to videotape, I've been working. So I have a March craft fair coming up on the 15th of March, and I was trying to get my journals together. So the 3Bs. Let me move these out of the way. I want to show you all the journals and then tell you about some new ones that I'm going to be working on. Let me move everything out of the way so we can I Spy together. So how is everybody? I pray you're all doing wonderful. I'm feeling much better. Thank you, Jesus. And I pray you are too. Alright, let me turn my little LED lights on. I like them white. There. I think that's right. I need to clean my mat. It's all dirty. Okay, first of all, I did 3Bs. Actually, I did 4. I did a blank journal also. But these were the 3Bs that I showed you online. But they weren't done. They were just put together. So we're going to go through and do like a real quick flip on each one. And then I'm going to bag them back up. Not right away because I want to make sure they're all. I gotta figure out how I bag this one. Yeah, I am taking them with me to the craft fair. How did I do that? Oh yeah, it's this way. And I make all kinds of journals. I have these journals here, all of these are made from books. But the ones prior to this have been made from my large envelopes or from my cardboard cereal boxes and stuff like that. So these, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books, no, 5 books. 6 books that I've been making out of book covers, and I had to tell you, I'm loving this. So this is my first one that I made. This just has 10 little tabs in them, and I'm not going to show you all of them because every book I make has a little "this book belongs to" and an envelope with 10 tabs in it. So we're just going to do a real quick flip. I'm not taking everything out. I'm just going to show you what all's in here. This is considered a filled journal. If you go to my craft fairs, I have tall, prissy journals, blank journals. This has some ephemera in it. Filled journals, Christmas journals, children's journals, little mini journals. And then I provide tags and pockets and envelopes full of ephemera. Excuse me. So this is just, I'm doing it real quick so you can see. If you go back to my 3Bs, you'll be able to see all the pages at a slower pace. But these are all added. I put all these in after the fact. This is a 1 signature journal. And that was my middle page right there. Same as my cover. All I do is add little things to some of the pages, and then I put a couple of pockets and tags in. This one doesn't have as many as some do, but if you ask me, it turned out just as beautiful. I love it. And somebody who is into bees is going to really enjoy these. I promise you that. And that's the first one. Here's the second one that I made. It is a hardback book cover, and it is considered a filled journal because of the fact that it's full of pockets and tags, and it has the tabs in it. But okay, this is just a piece of ephemera folded on the page. But this was a much smaller book than I'm used to making. However, it is a bee journal. It has, and this is a little pocket with some more ephemera in it. And because it's a small book, I didn't want it to have the alligator mouth so much, so I added a lot of things on the pages itself. This was the middle of this signature. And again, this is a one signature journal. I just enjoy making these. It's just so much fun. Unfortunately, I'm trying to do 55 million things at the same time, so I wasn't able to record it. I would love playing with you on film if I could. Look, isn't that the cutest little thing? But to be honest with you, I've had so many things going and my times were different. It is morning. It is 8:39 on a Friday. This has some ephemera in it, little teeny stamps. And that's this book. And here's B number 3. Okay, this one, I think this was my favorite at first. I love it. See? I love it. This one has 2 signatures in it, so it's bigger, but it also has a lot more paper to write on. See all the writing space? Some of these I already had, like this here. It's just added character to help bless the pages, just to give it something, you know. I loved the way I decorated this one also. Here's the middle of the first signature, and look at that. I just love that. And these were all, isn't that pretty? These were all digitals that I purchased from different people. So I can't tell you who each one of these digitals are. If you are interested in any of the digitals, leave a comment. I just love it. I just love it. And that's the first digital, or signature. And then we're working on signature number 2. And again, it's full of good stuff to look at, and tags and pockets. But it's also got lots of space to write. Journal. I really love it. See, this is what I've been working on behind the scenes, people. I've been busy. And I would love, like I said, to bring it to you on a day-to-day basis, like some of the other junk journalists do. But I'm a homesteader, not a junk journalist, who just loves to do journals. I loved that. That just turned out so pretty. I just love it. And that's part of the reason why I like to do the flip throughs on camera, so I can remember it and bring it back to other journals if I choose to. And that's B number 3. But then I was working on other things. I did this journal a while back. It's already on camera. I'm not going to flip through it again. But I said, I think I'm going to keep this one. I'm thinking I might actually fill that one back out and take it with. But I did make one just like it to bring to sale at the March thing. And this one I did fill with pockets and tags. It's not the exact same. It has a different cover, but it is the exact same in the way I put it together inside. So let's do a flip through of this one. I'm going to call it my Edith Holden one. I put a little thing here. I just took a book and turned it into a journal just like the other one. Some of the pages are a little bit different, but the digitals are the same. I put the little book pages and all of the stained pages in the same order as that one. I just added tags and pockets. This one has two signatures in it. And again, I hooked it up. Just got it all hooked up. And if I choose to take the other one and put pockets and tags in it and take it with me, I'll probably make a replica of this one with all the pockets and tags. You know, since it's so similar. But I probably won't take that one with me to this market. I think I'll probably wait. I was going to keep it for myself, but I haven't even began writing in it. I love that. And then I made another journal right after this one that I'll show you here in a second. I guess we're going to call this Flip Through Friday. Although I'm not really going to do this every Friday. But, yeah, I've been working, and like I said, I fell in love with hardback covers. I have a whole bunch of books that I can still use their covers on, and their book pages. I'm just doing a real quick flip through. I'm not taking anything out. It's obvious which ones are pockets and tags. And some of these I feel like just turned out so good. And then some of them are just normal. They're pretty. I do remember that the majority of these digitals are from Jarf, the Medieval Garden. And then Edith Holden book pages that I took out. And then some other book pages. And some botanicals. And this one. I just left this one on the back. Isn't that pretty? So this one I will be selling. And then this one I just finished. Not yesterday, the day before. This is also a Jarf Medieval Mirage. But I don't remember what the name of this one is. And I used one of her envelopes. And I put some ephemera in it. I have not put any tabs in this one. That would be the only thing. That and packing it up. Other than that, it's ready to go. Like I said, this is medieval. And I took this one and I spun it a little bit. I made a flip and then I pulled out a big tag. I did this twice. One for each scripture. I mean, one for each signature. I just thought that was beautiful. This one has lots of tags and pockets in it. I think there's one pocket in here that's empty that I still need to fill. And if we do come to that, I'll pull a tag out and stick it in there. I might have filled it. I can't remember. And a lot of these pages are vintage that I purchased. Like this is vintage right here. This is vintage. And these are just documents that I printed up, but this is vintage. But they are considered vintage. They're just printed vintage. And this one's vintage. I could tell you the date. I just don't know how to read Italian. Anyhow, it's beautiful. I love it. I really do. I'm having fun using the variety. Alright, that was the first one. Now we're in the second one. This one was fun to make. It really was, because it's unique. It's not my norm. And I felt like it was calling me out of my comfort zone to build it. Like, for instance, in this. The pages were too long, so I had to do what some of the other people do. Normally, I don't do that. Normally, I just leave it in there, or I cut it down to size. Here's the second one. Oh, well, this is on the other side of this one. This one I just made a little booklet. I sewed it together. It's just a little booklet. Excuse me. Again, this one has lots of writing space. You can do a lot of journaling. Here's the middle of the second one. This is all vintage paper. This is a linen, but I love the color. It's almost like an avocado shade. But I purchased those. I didn't make those. This I did as coffee. Here it is. And it has its own little tag. Again, it's similar to the first one, but it has its own little thing. And this is considered one of my journal wraps. You open them both up and there's writing on both sides. And this was the one pocket that I thought was empty, but I did come back and put something in it now that I remember. And this was a little booklet that I made. I made this a while back. So there's plenty of writing. And I stuck it in here. More vintage papers. I really can't read the writing, so I couldn't tell you what date that is. And that's it for this one. And I'm just going to call this one Madame when I label it. And then here is the little blank bee journal that I made. When I say blank journal, you'll see what I mean. It doesn't have a lot of pockets and tags and things of that nature in it. Okay. Front and back. Little honeybees on it. Okay. And then again, it has tabs inside. And you'll see what I mean. Blank journals. There's nothing on the pages. Plenty of space to journal or to post your pics or keep your little keepsakes. But it's blank. And the reason it's blank is so that they can fill it up. Inside here, is a bunch of little ephemera that they can use to either make side tucks, not pockets, but side tucks, or adhere to a page to give it character. Here are the three, oh, this was only got two. No, there's three. The 3 tags. Every blank journal comes with 3 tags. And I usually just put them in a giant envelope, but I put them in a pocket so that they now have a place to keep their tags. But they can create their own little pockets, you know. And I do sell pockets and tags when I go to the market next to my blank journals. So if they ask me, I tell them, yeah, you can purchase more or you can make your own. Excuse me. And then I refer them to my 18 Acres Journals YouTube channel so that they can see me making pockets and tags and that they can get a better idea of, you know, what to put in their journals. A lot of people just want a journal. And then in the very back, I gave them some more ephemera that they can make pockets or tags out of. And that's why it's called a blank journal. But it has everything they need to get started. And I sell these a lot cheaper than I do the other ones. So that's what I've been working on behind the scenes. But then I printed up some more documents that I want to make. These were extras from that other one I just did. Okay, so these go over here. These, I think I'm going to be making another journal out of. I double-sided them. I have to trim all the white off of them. I'm going to show you what I got. I'm going to be making another journal. I think this one's going to be another blank journal, though. I just love that. But aren't they pretty? These right here, now this is just papers that I've had from past. But these right here, this set is from Twisted Paper Studio. It's her yellow one. And I thought this was perfect for spring. So I'm thinking, see how I gotta cut all the white off the edges? I'm thinking about making this one a spring blank journal. I don't know if you can see the backs. Let me move them over. And then again, just adding a couple little things in it, making a few tags in a pocket, that sort of thing. Those things are real easy to make. And I can add some of my yellow linen paper in here. And maybe some coffee dyed paper in here. And then she has her own ephemera, so I could turn some of these into the tags and pockets. Like, that'd be a great pocket. This would be a cute belly band. That'd be a good side tuck. And these ephemeras I could cut out and put in a pocket for her, for whoever purchases it. And these, yeah. And then here's 2 envelopes. I can choose one of these to put in there. So I was thinking about doing this. And then this was going to be my cover. Because if you cut it in half, like so, that would be my front. That would be my back. Then you cut this one in half, like so. These would go on the inside, front, and back of the journal itself. And then I could put a pocket right here. So that's what I was thinking about doing. And I could actually work with you on that, but I didn't make time for that. I made time for a flip through. I need to bag everything up and I need to get it all ready to go. Oh, and I wanted to tell you also, I don't know if you remember, but the last couple of videos I said I love my new desk, but I don't have enough workable space. My husband let me buy a dream cart from the create room. Excuse me, the create room, like, you know, that big old giant dream box. Well, I got their dream cart because that's all I need. It actually has, let me see if I can get a picture of it. Hold on. I might be able to. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see that? It has, the compartments are called totes. Well, I'm trying to get it bigger. It won't let me make it bigger. Anyhow, it has 6 rows on both sides, but they're not just set it in and then it can move around. No, they're on sliders like you would put a drawer. However, they can come out the front or they can come out the back. And there's 12 clear ones, which means I have 12 new storage abilities. And then the top itself is the same height as this, so I can just turn sideways and my desk would be right here or right here, wherever I choose to put it. But it extends long, and I could take my camera and hook it up to that, and it'll be closer. You'll be able to see better. I'm loving it. Anyhow, they're making it for me. I should be getting it between the 5th and the 17th, which makes me crank, which means I gotta wait. I'm not good at waiting. Anyhow, so what do you think, guys? Should I make this one? I think I should. I could cut these out. As a matter of fact, let me cut these out while we chat. I haven't talked to y'all in a while. I miss you. I'm going to cut out both envelopes. And then I'll take those to the thing. But I'm going to cut all these out and set them aside. Because if I don't decide to turn this into a blank journal, I might need some of these to add to my pages. I'm thinking I might make one of these a pocket in the very back, and then the other one a pocket. Finny, are you running around being cute? Come here, baby. Oh, Mama hugged the puppy. Oh, Mama hugged the puppy. You're not gonna let me hug you? He's like, no. I have a channel. It's called Fiddly Jack. It's just videos of our puppy, who happens to be a character, and I'm not lying. Check it out, Fiddly Jack. Anyhow, he won't stop kissing my husband. I even have a video out called Drowning Daddy. He'll climb up on his lap and kiss and kiss and kiss to where Russell can't even breathe. And yet I can't even get him to kiss me once. And I know it's not my breath. My husband told me so. He said, no, you're fine. I think he just loves his daddy. Because I'm home with him all day long. And he's like bored as all get out with me. But Dad comes home, throws the frisbee, lets him ride around in his Kubota side by side. He chases them on the excavator and the tractor. Yeah, Daddy's just fun. Mama's boring. Although I know he likes when Daddy's home too, he likes to come over and hang out with me also. He really does. I know he loves me. And I do throw the frisbee. I do go out and play with him. But Daddy's his favorite. And I'm okay with that because when we lost our last doggy, Levi, which was also a boxer, he passed away of a heart attack at the age of 5. He died in my husband's arms. It was so sad. I don't even really like talking about it. But anyhow, Russell wanted another dog, and I said, no, I can't handle it. You know, I'm not ready. Levi he was precious. And my husband wouldn't leave me alone. He said, but because you can't handle it, I have to go without a dog. And he didn't mean it in a bad way. He meant it like, one of us is going to suffer, whether it be you or me. Well, for Christmas, 4 years ago this October, so 3.5 years ago, we drove down to Tampa and purchased Finley for Russell as an early birthday present, because his birthday is January 2nd. And he has been both the worst and the best dog we've had ever. Worst because he dug up every single flower I put in my flower bed and trampled them all over and tossed them around in the yard like they were some kind of rag doll. And I hated that dog. I literally had to put an electric wire fence up around my garden just to keep him out. He finally grew out of, no matter what we did. I mean, we could take the plant, bury it back, yell at him, spank his butt. Well, I mean, it didn't matter. He'd turn right back around and get right back in that garden and take them plants right back out. So, for 2 years, I didn't have hardly anything in my garden. Or I had to keep an electric fence around it. Isn't that something? He finally grew out of that. But he still goes in the garden, and if a sunflower seed drops from the bird feeder below, starts growing a wild sunflower, he'll dig that up. It's almost like he goes, well, you didn't plant this, I know. But I never, but then he's also the best dog because he can entertain himself. He doesn't really need friends. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but I can be so preoccupied, and you'll hear him in the background running around throwing his babies in the air and catching them. And he's really I might not be able to do this one right now. Anyhow, him and my husband are the best of friends, and it worked out that way because we did purchase Finley for Russell. But he does share me. The one thing he does that I do not like, and this is the one thing, he goes in our pond, and he'll go in there and sit down and just cool himself off. He'll run through it and get all dirty and mucky, but that's not why. He got bit by a water moccasin last year. And we don't know to this day if it was on land or in the water itself. But because he's by the pond, he's got more opportunities to get bit by them. And no matter what we do, you can't keep a snake out of your yard. And that's the one thing that he does that I don't like. He goes into our pond or goes around the pond, and it just scares me. Yeah, he almost died. He also had gotten bit or stung by the bees. I think I mentioned that in the last video about the bee book. Yeah, we had a broken tree that got struck by lightning. And it was struck by lightning before we even purchased this property. And then it got struck by lightning a second time. And so the tree started dying. And Next thing we know, a whole swarm of bees moved in. Yeah, I did it. A whole swarm of bees moved in to the tree where it was sliced in the middle. So we we called around to see if we could find some beekeepers to come and collect the bees, because we didn't want the bees to be harmed. We just didn't want them in our tree. We got grandbabies that come around here. Last thing we need is for people to get stung by bees. And my husband is highly allergic. So, we called around, and I want you to know, not one single bee farmer, I don't know what you call them, not one single bee person would come and get them because they were in a tree. And I'm like, well, don't you go around and into the houses and stuff to get them out? Don't you go into people's attics, old barns and places like that to get them out? Why would you not want to get them out of the tree? I'm sorry, man, we can't do it. And we called several. They wouldn't do it. So my husband talked to a guy who happens to work for our company. They're pest control. And he asked him, do you know of anybody? And he said, no. And he said, but we will come and we can fumigate them for you. Meaning kill the bees. That broke my heart. But he did. He came and they killed the bees to the best of their ability. But prior to that, my husband had to knock the tree down. Then we had to wait for the bees to stop swarming and go back into their home. But Finley heard zzz by the tree. Now the tree's on the ground and the noise is really cool. And hey, this is unique. I've never done this before. And you know what, guys? I don't know if I really want to put these. Alright, I'll do it. Anyhow, so he goes over there and starts messing with the bees, and he was stung. Hundreds and hundreds of bees were on him. And he was running around, freaking out, yiping. And Russell, who's highly allergic, ran over there and tried to get Finley. And he grabbed him by his collar and took him over to the chicken coop, which we have a water faucet over there. And the reason he did it over there instead of bringing him home is because where the tree fell, it was closer to our chicken coop than it is the house itself. So he went to the water faucet to try to spray those bees off of him. And oh my gosh, I cut the boy's antennas off. Oh well, I can draw the antennas on. But he got stung so much that he fainted, and that was scary. It was scary. We called the emergency vet. They told us what to watch over, what to do. It just so happened that I had some Benadryl, and they told me to give him some Benadryl, and I forgot what else. Russell and I did it though. And we watched him for hours, and he started getting better. It went from being, I can't hardly stand up, I got to lay down, to standing up, to playing, to I'm fine. He had little hives all over him though. He had little bee marks. He was highly stung. It was terrible. And we think he has a bee sting still in his body somewhere because he's got one. Oops. Let me go get that. Okay, sorry about that. I'm going to go ahead and cut these last two little envelopes out, and then I'm going to call it a day. Apparently, I'm running my mouth. Anyhow, he's got this little teeny bump on one side of his body that was not there before he got bit by or stung by all them bees. So we think maybe a bee stinger is still stuck in him somewhere. We've had it, what do you call it? we've taken him to the vet and had him tested, and it is not a tumor. It's not a growth. There's nothing in it. So we think it's just where his body absorbed it and hasn't pushed it out yet. But it doesn't bleed, doesn't itch, doesn't hurt him. It's just, it took him from being the most beautiful dog to just flawed like everybody else. Anyhow, I got one more to cut out. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I really do appreciate it. You know, we don't get to sit and chat. You know, if I had it my way, I'd invite all of y'all over, and I would make us something good to eat for lunch, and we'd sit and craft for hours at the table. You know, you could even bring your own kind of craft. You wouldn't have to do junk journals. But if you don't have any craft and you want to do junk journals, I'd be more than happy to supply you with all that you needed to make your own journal. I would. But I don't know where you live. I don't know if we could do something like that. It would have to be after March 15th, though, because that's when the big craft fair is. Well, I keep calling it big because last I heard there were almost 300 venues going to be out there. But I'm the only junk journalist. Okay, guys, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a blessed day.